All right, for all our folks here and all our folks at home, welcome to our community, all the students, families, friends, and visitors. It's always good to have you here. Now, we haven't all met yet. I'm Dr. Len. I'm one of the teachers here. I helped put all this together a long time ago. My goal was to put together ways to make people feel better about themselves and then learning how to physically defend themselves as well. All right, so you're getting a little of both worlds. From my talks, what I'm going to give you through these talks is something on the inside that will make you stronger. Karate is going to make you stronger on the outside, no doubt. But you know there's not going to be many people trying to punch you in the nose. There really isn't, probably, okay? Depends on who you are and what you do, I suppose, all right? But that's not going to happen very often, but here's what is going to happen. People are going to make fun of you. They're going to tease you. They're going to tease your little brother, they're going to tease your little sister. Some are going to take something from you that doesn't belong to them. That's just what happens out there, okay? And so what I want to do is help you to build a shield on the inside that when those things come at you, just the same way that you would block a punch, you're able to know what to do with those things so they don't crush you on the inside. Okay? And this is a great talk that we're starting off for. Some of you, this is your first cycle with us. We're going to be talking about the power of our words. All right? You may not have thought of that before, but words have a lot of power. No matter how old you are or how young you are, no matter how big you are, no matter how small you are, each of you, have one of the world's greatest powers, and that is your words. With your words, you can make your mom laugh or cry. With your words, you can make them angry. You can make them smile. That's a lot of power for a little person to have. But you have that power, and you probably already used it, maybe not even realizing it. This cycle, we're going to show you how you can use your words to make things in your life and the people around you just a little bit better. And if each of you takes a lesson home and makes their little world a little bit better, things may just get a little bit better out there. Okay, at least they will be in the family here. All right? Now let's begin with a modesty talk. Modesty is our character that talks about very realistic things. And he's going to get us started to understand what words can do. You see, words can be used to create. Words can be used to destroy. Words can build things up. Yeah, bring that truck over here. Good, good. All right, put the wood on that side here. Watch out for that ladder over there, okay? Let's get this going over here. You see, I can use words to build something. And for things that are already built, we can make them better. Let's put on an extension. Let's put on a new room. Let's build a pool. Let's put a pool outside. We can use words to do that. But we got to be careful because words can also tear things down. Words can even destroy something completely. Okay? Words can destroy a friendship. Words can destroy a relationship. Now, you're all little right now, so you don't know much about that. But trust me, I'll bet your moms and dads know of something that happened at some point where people just through words kind of fell out from one another. Okay? Now, an example of words in place. This is the Twin City Mall, and all of you are very familiar with it. This was my playground back in the 1960s. All right. On the other side of that building, that used to be a Kmart. On the other side of that is where my parents' house was, and I grew up there. And we used to play in here. This was a big field, had little paths that you could bring your bicycle down. And there was a little frog pond out in the middle of it. And it was so cool to go there and just sit there and watch the little tadpoles swimming around and little frogs and all that. It was really, really cool. And then around 1969, 1970, there was something in the newspaper, words that said, we're going to build a mall there. And we all said, wow, what's a mall? Because we hadn't heard of that yet. There was no malls, okay? They said, well, there are going to be stores that are connected to one another. Well, how could you do that? How could you possibly have stores connected to one another? All right? So little by little, what happened is my playground vanished. It disappeared until it was completely gone. You would never know what this used to be. All right? But one thing that they could not plan for is that frog pond. You see, when the rains get real big around here, that frog pond comes right back to life right over there past the bank a little bit. All right? That's where the water just seems to have wanted to come together in the past and still does today. Okay, so every time I see that puddle, I remember the old frog pond. Okay? Words can influence how we see ourselves and how we see other people. If these words were used to you at school or at home all the time, would you feel good about yourself or not good about yourself? Good for you, yeah, not too good. See how you know the answers? You might be little, but you're smarter than you give yourselves credit for all that. Okay? That's right, you'd probably feel bad about yourselves. That little guy doesn't look like he feels real happy about himself, does he? What about these words? If somebody was using these words with you, would you feel a little bit better about yourself?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. All right, now, pop quiz. If all you knew were these words that are being used for each of these two children, which one would you prefer to have as a close friend? A or B? Yeah, I have to agree with that. Now, that doesn't mean that A is a bad kid or anything like that. But words have meaning and they have power. And if I say to you, this child has a hard time controlling himself, and I say, this child has perfect self-control, you automatically think differently about these two people. Okay? And there may be some real good explanations why the little boy acts the way he does. You know, I have seen people who get on allergy medication and all of a sudden their behavior gets way out of character for them. We help to fix things like that all the time. All right? So there may be reasons that just haven't been discovered yet. And that happens the first few years of school. All right? And then there's body language. That way that you present yourself with your arms and your legs as you're talking. All right? And sometimes that can say a lot more than words are ever going to be able to say. Okay? So that's our introduction to the power of words. This cycle we're going to talk about subjects such as words we say to ourselves, those are our thoughts. Words that we say to others, now we can control that. Words that others say to us, we can't control that. That's going to be a good talk. And then body language and what some people mean when they're doing things. And we're going to talk about stuff like things to watch out for, like when the schools reopen and everything. At the bus stop, people hanging around schools. I'll talk to you about certain behaviors and we'll show you some things. This is something to look out for example. Okay? And I'll even put in a couple of things in that show you how you can tell if someone's lying. It's not foolproof, nothing is. But it's what people use usually to get some idea whether somebody's being honest. It all comes from the way that we hold our bodies. All right, so this is going to be a good talk. You're going to like this cycle. You're going to get a lot out of it. Please feel free to use anything that you learned at home and at school. Now, last thing. For the next few days and weeks, please think a little bit more about the words that you choose to use. All right? A word of encouragement to someone that's hurting can actually change a person's life. No kidding. It really can do that. Okay? We good? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So try to make sure that your words are creating smiles and not tears. And you want to know something? Tell you a secret. You're already doing that. You're already doing that. Your words at home to a little brother or sister, a big brother or big sister, is either making them feel a little bit better about themselves or making them feel a little not better about themselves. So if you got a little brother or sister and they mess up, don't go over and say, ah, you mess up. Don't be like everybody else. Go over and say, you know what? You did the best you could. Give me 5. See? That can change the way a person looks at themselves. All right? I will leave you with that. Thank you very much for listening. Until our next visit, please have yourself a wonderful, stay safe and stay well. And I will turn you back over to our Mr. David.